Today, guys, I am going to talk about something new for my channel. So, we will talk about monsters in Philippine mythology. So, let's look at this. So, this is the most feared of all the elementals in the Philippine mythology. So, this is what we call the tambal. So, this is the scariest elemental in the Philippines. And these sneaky creatures often lives in the forest who are always on the lookout for people they can steal. So they are like body stealers. So they will steal your character. I mean your body because they are they are not alive and they want to experience whatever a living creature will experience in this life. So these are kinds of demons that roam around the Philippines without their own bodies. They usually take the form of their victims, aiming to replace them in the real world, while the real human stays lost in the forest. So these evil demons are usually in the forest. So until someone fetches them. So tumbles are scary because they will gain your trust and will do everything, even kill just to live in the human world. So they are just like creatures that shapeshifter. So they will replace you in the human world. So you have to be careful when you go to the forest by yourself because you might find someone there and they will befriend you, but then their ultimate goal is to snatch your body and live your life. So it's scary, right? So the next is the Aswang. So the Aswang is the most popular elemental in the Philippines. These creatures are like vampires who suck blood dry from their prey. They can also change appearances and shape-shift into animals, usually a large bird, dog, or a hog when they need to escape. So guys, there are so many categories of the Aswang. So what I'm going to show you here is just some of the categories, okay? So this is the most feared creature of the Philippine folklore, guys. Wait. And with good reason, because it's stalking its prey in the small rural towns of the Philippines. These deadly monsters nocturnally hunts for a meal of human flesh and blood, guys. So I will show you some of the pictures, guys, because there are so many categories of the Aswang. So this is what we call the manananggal because they will fly and then their lower body will remain in the ground, guys. So that is what it is, guys. This is what we call the manananggal, guys. So as you can see, the other lower body is on the ground, guys. So let's look at the okay. So usually it will appear at night, and it is a flesh-eating shape-shifting monster. So during the day, Aswangs appear as regular townspeople. So you might not know that who you are talking to is an Aswang. Though they may be observed by others to have reclusive habits or magical abilities. At night, Aswang shift into an eerie predatory forms and go hunting for human prey, preferring to feast on children and pregnant women above all else. So most Aswang are women, okay? So As you can see in the physical appearance, guys, it is a horrible, it looks really horrible. So during the day, an Aswang look like a normal person. But at night, however, it may appear as a bird, a pig, or a dog. So the Aswang's most fearsome ability is its knack for blending with its victims. So you will not know that who you are talking to is actually an Aswang. So during the day, Aswang look and act like regular people. So that's just it. And then during at night they will shift into something like, oh, in the morning, guys, they might be generally shy and somewhat reclusive, but they can have jobs, friends, and even families, guys. There was this story about, I heard about this story. It's kind of a true story, guys. There was one woman who had a friend, and one day, her friend, took her to her barrio because that was the fiesta, or there was a festival in there in the friend's barrio, or the friend's local town. So because the woman trusts this friend because they have been friends and co-workers, so she did not know that her friend and the whole barrio is actually an Aswang community. And that was very horrible, guys, because yes, guys, that was so horrible because she trusts that friend because they have been co-workers for a while. So she went with a friend, and then when he went there in the barrio, in the local town, of that friend, everyone was so busy. Everyone was so busy preparing for the fest, for the night. And well, when you look at it, you go there to the place, and then you were unaware that all of those people are actually Aswang. Oh my God. And then you were there, and then you were sleeping. So that girl was sleeping. But then at night, she heard something. It's like they were preparing for a feast, but you do not know that you are the one that they should be feasting on. Isn't it terrible? They were all preparing for the feast, and you do not know that you are the meal. You're actually what they have been waiting for, because they will cook you. Yes, guys, it's real. I heard about it. Okay? So you must not trust anybody, especially if you still haven't really had a clue, especially in far-flung villages or far-flung places, because they might actually be still around, guys. So what happened there is that the friend, the woman, luckily, she did not sleep at night, guys. So she was thinking, because, you have this feeling because people will look at you with hungry eyes. And that was very terrible, because when she went with a friend, the friend introduced her to all the barrio, to all the people in the barrio, and they have these hungry eyes. My God, it's like, I would really feel if something is wrong, guys, wouldn't you? And then at night, he heard them talking about killing her and cooking her. My gosh. So what the girl do is she sneaked, when everybody was so busy, she sneaked out of the town, guys. And I think she survived, guys. I think that was just not only her. I think there was two of them. I think so. Because 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 she left the town. She left the town, guys. That's why the story came out. It's scary, isn't it? Oh my God. Don't ever go to somebody's house, to somebody's barrio. Far-flung barrio if you do not really know what is in there. Oh my gosh. So that's it, guys. That was the story. So, in addition to shape-shifting, guys, Aswang also have the ability to transform the appearance of other objects. It's common for an aswang to transform plant material into a doppelganger of one of its victims. So doppelganger. So you might see somebody who looks like your friend, but it's not your friend. But an aswang have used its power to transform the appearance of the object, guys. So in order to hide the evidence of its feeding habits from locals. So these doppelgangers might replace corpses, which aswangs often consume, or they might replace living people. If the doppelganger replaces a living person, it will return to the person's home, get sick, and quickly die. Oh my God. So that's just it, guys. So when someone has eaten a person, a doppelganger will come back to its home, get sick, die, guys. So another tactic aswangs use to disguise themselves is to use sinister vocal tricks. As the fearsome predator gets closer to its victim, it calls, gets quieter and quieter, so its victim is tricked into thinking the monster is actually getting farther away, but the monster is near. So what they say is that when you hear something and it's so quiet, the 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 aswang might be very near to you. And when the when the noise is very loud, then the aswang might be far from you. So it's it, guys. So let's talk about the weakness of an aswang. So the first step towards ridding a town of this deadly assailant is identifying the monster. So there are several ways in which you can do this. So aswangs generally have bloodshot eyes, since they have been awake hunting all night. In addition, it is said that if you look directly to the aswang's eyes, your reflection will appear upside down. So the most common method of detecting aswangs, however, involves using albularyo's oil, a special oil made of coconut and holy plants. This oil is said to boil whenever an aswang is near. So it's like an oil where it boils when there is an aswang near you. Aswangs are repelled by garlic and religious artifacts and at their weakest during the day. So they're just like vampires in Western cultures, guys. So the aswang here in the Philippines is like vampires in other Western cultures. So when they are in human, aswangs are repelled by garlic and religious artifacts and are at their weakest during the day. When they are in human form, they can be killed by decapitation or by being struck with a whip made from a stingray's tail. A whip? No, I think it was. Yeah, that's what they said. Being struck with a whip made from a stingray's tail, guys. So the related creatures of an aswang is common Western vampires, guys. But there is no evidence to show that either creature inspired the creation of others. So, stories of the Filipino monsters of vampires probably evolved separately. So, other monsters in Philippine folklore are more likely to be related to the Aswang. So as you can see, there are so many of them, guys. So the Wakwak version, the Manananggal version, where the other half of the other half of the body of the Aswang will remain in the ground, while the upper body will fly, and they will go to places where they can have their victims. So they usually prey on pregnant women and small children. So, and Aswang also have a connection to witchcraft in the Philippines and are generally described as women. So as I have already told you about that. And sometimes said to have magical powers during the day, while they are generally to be feared. They are sometimes said to provide healing potions or to cast spells for local people. So the other version of Aswang, there is also what we call witches. So some witches are also Aswang, guys, because they are more powerful if they will have a witch that is also an Aswang is very powerful, guys, because they gain power by eating the flesh and drinking the blood, guys. So where does this all originated from? So as you can see, Aswang was born out of folklore, Philippine folklore. So with stories of these terrifying creatures dating back to at least the 16th century, when the Spanish explorers created the first written record of monsters. The explorers noted that of all the monsters in their folklore, the Aswang was the most feared by native people. So, because during the time of Magellan, during the time of the Spanish explorers in the Philippines, they have recorded stories of Aswang because that was the time of the ancient. So there are so many Aswang in those times here in the Philippines during the 16th century that actually involves cannibalism, guys. Well, they eat people. My gosh, that's it. So the creature's name comes from the Sanskrit word asura, which means demon. This terrifying monster is also sometimes called the tik-tik or the wak-wak. So I will show you what it is. These names come from the sinister sounds that a monster is said to make while hunting. So I will show you guys what it is. This is it, guys, the tik-tik. So this is also another kind of aswang, guys. Tik-tik are shape-shifting elementos who can transform into animals, usually a giant bird, before they attacked you. You will hear a faint tick-tick from a distance, but don't let it fool you. If the sound of the tick-tick is loud, it means it's far away. But if it gets quieter, you have to be careful because they are very near indeed. That means the creature is right behind you. They say, tick, 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 tick. So when they say that, they are very near. So when they are very loud, like tick, 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 like that, then they are far, guys. This also has another creature which we call the wak-wak, so they would say. When they are very far from you, you would hear wak, 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 wak. But actually, it's a bird, a very large bird, which is also kind of aswang. But when they are very near, guys, you will hear a faint sound of wak, 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 like that. Oh my God. It's fearsome, right? Because I see a very, very large bird. One time, guys, my neighbor is pregnant during that time, and then because our houses is so very near from my neighbor's house, we heard a very large bird, guys, and it was there near our neighbor's house because our neighbor was pregnant. My neighbor was pregnant, and I've heard the bird, and it was very large bird, guys, near the house of my neighbor, and it was saying quack 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 like that. God, it was so scary. My God, but I'm not pregnant, so I should not be scared because wak wak or tik tik or aswang, another kind of aswang, will only hunt pregnant and small children. But if they are very hungry, they will still kill you guys for your blood and your flesh. So you have to be very careful because the ancient elementals like this still exist. They do, guys. So you have to be careful. And then let's talk about this one, the amalhig. So amalhig is also some type of aswang, but they would look like zombies, and they would sometimes eat the flesh of the dead, guys. So sometimes they would live near the tomb or the cemetery. Isn't it so scary? My gosh. And then the next one is what we call the bungis-ngis, also known as mahentoy in the northern part of Davao. The bungis-ngis is a one-eyed giant who lives in the forest and woods. It is happy and a playful cyclops. Although it looks really scary, when it's near you, you will hear it giggling hence the name. So it would giggle like that. But I think they will not hurt you, but they are fearsome to look at, so you might run very far from it. Gosh. So I've already talked about this one, guys. So guys, thank you so much guys for watching, and I hope to see you soon again. And if you're new to my channel guys, don't forget to click subscribe down below and like this video, guys. See you next time. Bye for now.